but he indicated that he's not okay with raising that, although he's willing to do some internal tweaking. But was there or is there a difference? Are you willing to go to 15 or 18% share for city employees, and is the House not?
The Senate, okay, so just to start with the framework, the governor's budget funded inflation for healthcare benefits for state employees and then consequently for teachers, because we send the same amount out and then it's actually bargained locally. So it's not the same benefit package, but it's the same amount of money. And that amount of money over the course of the biennium would be $257 million to fund inflation. The Senate, my members believe that if we're cutting, as we are clearly, healthcare programs like the basic health plan and potentially other types of health care for vulnerable people, that our own health care should become more expensive. And so the Senate is not funding the inflation factor, which will result in either reduced benefits, or it could result in higher co-premiums, higher co-pays at point of service. It will be a reduced package of benefits.
Was the 18 ever on the table?
I think that variety of I think there were a variety of estimates made, but from this, I always felt like 12 to 18 is a pretty extreme jump. On the other hand, it's not really, that really happens in collective bargaining. What we do is we say, here's how much money there is available, and there's not going to be as much money available.
So worker privacy. I know we won't let it go, but are you willing to let it come back up in the Senate?
No, I don't see the bill coming forward this year.
You made that clear to the labor folks.
Yeah, how did that
How did
go?
you, yeah.
Well, I thought it was a good meeting. It was an hour long. A lot of things were discussed, not just the worker privacy bill, but the larger situation related to Boeing and the aerospace industry, as well as some of the larger issues affecting working families in Washington State. So I thought it went well, although clearly there's a lot of disappointment about that particular bill, and also the way that it fell apart.
What?
Supposed to be meeting with Representative Conway. That's my little alarm
You can
clock.
talk with him about that.
So, one of the labor advice we do today said that they felt that the schism was even deeper, wider after that meeting. And a lot of it is wrapped around that, the email, how it was handled, because you essentially called the cops on them. I mean, what did you tell them as far as, or justify why you guys did the things that you did? I'm going to throw something at you.
I just set alarms for these important meetings. I had everything outside. I just had my alarms.
I'm sorry.
So how did you justify to them why you did, how you handled it?
Well, ultimately, the governor and the speaker and I acted on the advice of our attorneys as to how to handle that email. And the bill itself has merit. The motivation behind the bill has a lot of merit. The idea of having workers kind of held to mandatory discussions about religious and political issues, I think does run afoul of people's ideas about what kind of rights people have in America.
So if that's the case, and the patrol says no laws were broken, the PDC says they have nothing to investigate, why not bring it back up this year?
It's more complicated than the sentiment behind the bill. There are different opinions about whether the bill would be preempted by federal labor law, whether it would, there's a pretty strong feeling it would go straight to the courts. And the politics of it are complicated by the significant economic problems we're having in the state right now.
A non-budget question, have you at all been following the efforts to revamp the Fish and Wildlife Commission, put it more directly under the governor?
I have.
What do you think? The bill, they apparently got a deal in the House, they're gonna shrink it from 7 to 5 members.
I don't know what's happened since the bill left the Senate, so I'd have to check back in on that.
What did you think of Jacobson's plan?
I was fine with the bill as it left the Senate.
Do you think you're convinced there's a problem with the commission as it is now?
I think I was convinced that the new structure made sense.
This is a Spokane related question. There's a bill, 6036, that opponents say would double the time that Inland Empire Paper and other companies would have to reduce nutrients in the Spokane River. And I guess that this group has sent you an email about this, but basically you didn't vote on it, you weren't here. But,
No, I wasn't.
But they want to know if you support it, did you have any role in writing it, and why is this passing?
Yes, I've received the email and I've actually responded to these questions before, but I'm happy to respond to them again. No, I didn't write the bill. The bill came from the Department of Ecology. Senator Frazier sponsored it, and it affects not just Spokane, but other critical water areas in the state that are undergoing this TMDL process of cleanup. And the idea behind the bill is to allow more time, an additional 5-year window and a potential another additional 5-year window if the parties involved are making significant progress towards cleanup, but they're either just technologically or for some other reason not going to actually get there to the standard. I asked the opinion of Senator Frazier and Senator Ranker, who were the other two watersheds affected by it, and they both thought also that it made sense from their perspective. So no, I didn't vote on the bill, but I would have supported it had I been on the floor. Detergent, a lot of people are complaining about that and say that they get spots on their dishes, but it's important to clean up the river. So I'm 100% behind those efforts, and I don't think this bill is some kind of a conspiracy to keep the river from getting cleaned up. I think it was a good faith effort from ecology to move forward responsibly, but also with a timeline that was achievable.
Last question. Ross is done the board meeting. He's got to go to.
Budget's released on Monday, 2 days of public hearings. When might we see any sort of presentation of a potential tax package?
I don't see anything like that happening soon, because we haven't even started to discuss it in caucus yet. We've discussed major pieces of the budget in caucus already. Individual members with specific interests, especially policy chairs, have been working with the budget committee on their priorities. But the whole caucus is going to see the whole budget on Monday for the first time. So we're going to spend some time on that before we talk about anything else.
So it would probably be an end game kind of thing.
It certainly wouldn't be for a while.
Will we be seeing it for the Republicans? When we ask them questions, they'll ask us what's in it? Or are they gonna get it the same time as your caucus?
Generally, we brief the ranking member at least the night before when things